we all know, climate change is increasingly making its impact felt worldwide. Everyone is suffering intense drought, storms, heat waves, and climate change are melting glaciers, warming oceans, which can directly harm animals, destroy the ecosystem, and wreak havoc on people's livelihood. So, take India for example, a developing country where 2/3 of its people live in poverty. A country is still in industrialization, exploits a lot of natural resources. Oh my God. Resources should emit an abundant amount of CO2. Yet, despite this, India was ranked 22nd best in the world on the basis of emission and use of renewable energy in the climate change in the performance index in 2016. From my perspective, if we want to lengthen this amazing achievement, developing countries should put SDG13 in their policies. And you might ask, is it too expensive for countries like India? Well, actually, an SDG should ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern forms of energy for all, which in turn could reduce poverty, improve health, well-being, and alleviate climate change.
Good. All right, stay there. Okay, so you can ask a question and or attack one of his points. Take your mask off so I can hear you.
I don't see really clear what is your solution if we put the climate action into developing countries documents.
So my first point here is to decrease the environmental pollution, because as we all know that it's having people's livelihood and it's creating a lot of major problems.
Then how?
How?
Or maybe if other people would be harmed.
Then so you can ask how, and then you can, will you answer or will they answer?
Like, will I answer or they answer?
Okay. So what was your first question?
What was the first question? Can you say it again?
You said that we should decrease the amounts of pollution and emission that we get out there, but then how? How can
Reinforce SDG.
Oh, now your turn.
Like, how can we kind of decrease the pollution by joining the SDG? I mean, SDG has 5 targets, and in one of those targets is aiming for decreasing pollution. So I cannot understand what you have been like, how can we decrease the pollution?
Because I don't see really clearly what is your, I don't really have heard clear, but your strategy is really not really clear what you can do and what I can expect in you. Just saying that either we have to increase something and then we get something. I don't see the target and what we can expect from it.
Yes, the main idea is that if you see those developing countries, they're in the industrialization state, which they emit a lot of CO2, SO2, and all those chemicals, and because they're doing labor, but despite this, India was ranked like 22nd best in the world on the basis emission. And if we compare that to America, which is 31st, that's a developed country and it's very rich, of course. And I think that if we want to lengthen this amazing achievement, we should join SDG 13.
Okay.
Like that's my solution to lengthen this amazing achievement.
All right, good. Okay, sit down. Okay, next, so you're up, yeah.
First point I want to say about is that India is not an LDC country. It's not a least developed country. And what I see that is not right with your solution is that you're not show us what is clearly you wanted to do. Then you just adopt that strategy and you write, but you're not showing what is next and what we can expect from you, as I said. And I have some statistics that I can show you. In 2021, governments from all over the world are planning to reduce the emission of greenhouse gas particle to net zero by 2050. And its heat will shrink to 1.5 degrees Celsius in 2100, which would be the same as Paris Agreement goals. There are already 131 national governments have already adopted these targets or are discussing them. That target would cover 73% of global GHG emission. They include European Union, UK, South Africa, South Korea, Japan, Canada, and China, and the US, as well as small islands nations. However, the plan didn't go as well as should be. The estimated warming increased to 2.9 degrees Celsius, and the plan didn't go how it should be. And by 2100, they will increase to 2.9 degrees Celsius, which lead to catastrophic climate change. As you can see, the heads of this target were all developed countries like the US, UK, and Japan, etc. But still, this plan was a failure. How can undeveloped or developing countries like Vietnam can adopt and apply in the belief that this plot could work?
20 seconds. 20 seconds, yeah.
Okay. We still have more problems to face, like eradicating poverty, illiteracy, and anti-hunger. Struggling with these issues are enough, and it wouldn't be safe to risk the national treasury of developing countries for climate action. That's action.
Time, good. 2 minutes. All right, good. All right, guys. So, what do you guys say?
So you're saying that we're dealing enough problems like hunger, poverty, and all this stuff, and we don't have the we don't have the plot to put SDG13 into our policies.
Okay.
Like you're saying that undeveloped countries or underdeveloped countries or developing countries doesn't have the plot to.
No. What I said is that how can they go with this plan and believe that this plot will work? Because they have that target that I said is unsuccessful that all developed countries like the US, UK, Japan. So how could the undeveloped or developing country can believe that plan that you're saying? And this maybe the same as the target or the strategy that you're into. I don't know what this actually is.
Can you explain that again? Because SDG 13 is aimed for pollution, decreasing pollution. So what do you mean by undeveloped country cannot believe in SDG?
I'm talking about another one. This GHG. This I don't say it's the same, but it was the same as the point that they try to decrease the amount of emission that you emit every year. But if this plan is by the Paris Agreement goal and it's not success, how can I believe that yours was success?
Then you just have to try because you cannot believe
We don't have enough money to do that. Remember.
SDG is
SDG is legitimate. It doesn't base on it's not a luxury kind of thing. And as I already told you, as an SDG is always ensure to access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, modern kind of forms of energy. So if you say that, oh wow, SDG is so expensive, no, I think it's a legitimate kind of
Every
policies.
single point that in the national treasury is expensive, I said again, because we have to get another plan, like care about the poverty, care about the hungers. So every money that we give, that's not cheap.
All right, guys, start. 2 minutes.
When in this SDG goal in their policy, they can encourage the sustainable development to be more specific. Natural resources are being exploited indiscriminately. Forests are sinking, and along with an increase in desertification, land currently under the pressure of social and economic problems. Countries around the world have stimulously marking to fossil fuel, so the depletion of natural resources and pollution problems are being more and more serious. Moreover, this could encourage firms and companies to operate unsustainably in a way that they could exploit and damage the environment and human health. If we include this goal in our policy, by doing this, we can control and preserve the loss of habitat, earth, and life support system for the future generation. And as you may know, the consequences of climate change are very difficult and hard to overcome. For example, the ROC began with cycling due to the over-cultivation for corn and cotton patch. Many years ago, for the development of economy, the country decided to pull off water from ROC for cultivation for corn and cotton for the higher
30 seconds.
for resource job. So, however, after that, they lost more than 80% to 90%. It was within 20 years, causing soil desertification, job loss for thousands of fishermen and farmers, causing poverty in a longer time. Do you have any question?
Sorry,
I'm talking about that if we include this in our policy, we can ensure the sustainable development in the long run. We cannot satisfy our environment just for resolve the poverty or resolve the hunger, because if we're doing that, and after 5 or 10 years, it will cause a catastrophe like the ROC became too sagging and soil desertification happened, and it's cost us a lot of money to resolve it. Only if my knowledge is right, China 5 or 4 years ago, they have built up a lot of like wind purification tower to verify their wind. But however, in the less developed country, they cannot have enough money to resolve the problem. If now they do not care about their environment.
All right, so give another question. So what's your question?
Okay, so what we only talk about here is the standards of the government, not the awareness of the citizens. As I say, the undeveloped developing country citizens have to care according to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN in 2014. Nearly 98% of worldwide hunger exists in the undeveloped country. The care of people is only surrounded by money, food, and living since they were born and decide to raise their child like that. Like that too, then where is the awareness to care about the climate change out there? They just care about how to make money. You know, it's not time to care about the climate change. It's just time to care about make money, how to survive out there. Because how to make money, how to survive, how to live with our food. We have to eat, we have to drink to live. So if they spend time to care about climate change, how can they care about themselves? They don't have any time. So that's the point we want to talk about it.
So, first of all, climate change will make the earth warmer. Warmer means more drought. More drought means no water. And if pollution is given, and you said that we need to make more money and not care about the pollution.
The United States give trash to us, and then we have to burn it. Like Africa, United States give trash, and they give us money to burn that trash. And if you guys care about climate change, and the United States just give us trash, it's like it fight together. It's not make sense.
Even though the climate change is not the priority of the citizens, but the pollution can be devastating if you take a night of it. As you might have already heard of heard my sister saying a lot of things. Water, soil, and the atmosphere take a big part in the poverty and hunger. So, like Boy said, if there's no water, if there's no soil to cultivate agriculture, we will be too dependent on the industrialization, which makes us even poorer.
But
So
if,
if
That's enough, all right, okay.
but if we don't have knowledge, we don't study. So you guys, like people in Africa, have to go outside to plant tree to change the climate change. It's not make sense. They just hungry. Like you guys just give them food and they have to do it that job.
No, okay, that's it, that's okay. Sit down, that's it, we're not set. Okay, you guys, I know you guys want to fight and you guys want to argue. That's why we finished this. Now we're at first negative rebuttal. So, okay, no, I know you want to. Please take 2 minutes to strategize your rebuttal. So, you want to talk with her about your rebuttal, then you're going to have your rebuttal as well. Then one more, and then we're finished.
Okay.
We're not going to start yelling at each other, okay? So, organize your rebuttal real quick, 2 minutes. You have 2 chances to rebut. So you can say what you want to say, but we gotta wait, okay?
For awareness, first is awareness and the mindset of the government and the people out there are living in undeveloped or developing countries. What are the solutions to change their mindset? We should change the people before we change the world. They don't know if they will die the next day, so how can they give their time and their money and their mind to care about the world out there while they cannot care about themselves? And I have a statistics that at least 9.3 million tons of waste move country to country every year. In Africa, which is an underdeveloped continent, is one of the continents that were affected by illegal dumping targeted in countries and companies looking for cheap and easy way to dispose their waste. So you should change the people that think that Africa is the place for them to throw their waste. Then think about the solution to change the world. Change the people before changing the world. And that's our first point.
Okay, how do you respond to that, guys?
I think Africa is poor because they lack a lot of water system and they cannot grow because their soil are not suitable for agriculture, and also because they cannot have modern agriculture machines to grow, so they cannot have enough food for other people. So they suffer a lot of disease from some polluted water and malnutrition because they cannot have daily enough access of nutrient. I think mainly because they are not caring about their environment.
Why would you blame the people out there waiting to they didn't know if tomorrow they would die, as I said. Why are you blaming them for their life? Because that is where they should be, because Africa is really hot and a lack of water, as you said. That is where the natural condition should be. It's not their fault of you to blame them, to not care about the pollution, not care about the environment and climate change, because they cannot know what is that. They do not have the knowledge. They didn't know the letters. How can they care about that? How can they care about the pollution and the trash out there while they are living in the trash, living in every trash can every day?
I think like since after the war, some African country and Southeast Asian country have received support and sponsor from developed country and WHO, and why they cannot develop and why they can still work. I think not because they participate in sustainable development goals, but mainly I think because they are unsustainable political situation, war, bribery, and terrorism. So if they join some kind of sustainable development goal, I think it can somehow improve and alleviate their situation.
Okay, stop. Okay, second point. What's your second point? Your second rebuttal. Your turn. Yeah.
So they still poor because they don't have knowledge. So you say if they care about climate change, so they don't have knowledge, somehow they can improve that. If they just care about climate change, how about their life? They don't blame the people. When they born, they don't have time to study like the environment affect them. Just like she said, they live on track. So the people live on track know how to change the environment. They don't even study when they were child.
I think protect the environment means protect our future.
Wait. Let some other team people. Their turn to talk.
I think you repeat that statement for a lot. So let me kind of like emphasize this. So you're saying that people don't have the knowledge to know what is climate change and other stuff, but I think that if the pollution gets worse, it will cause poverty and hunger, which will affect into no clean water, cannot cultivate agriculture, no food to daily access, which will lead to high infant mortality, which will also lead to no job. The money will go lower, and the education will also go down because there will be not a lot of infrastructure. And if we join the SDG 13, I think we'll somehow alleviate the unsustainable political situation.
All right, stop. Okay, you guys, final second affirmative rebuttal. Who's going to present?
Final one. What did you say? So as you know,
Take your face back. All right, guys, come on, let's go.
and you
So
say
guys, pay
that
attention.
people in undeveloped country doesn't have the education, educated. They don't have the knowledge to fix pollution. But it's just not for the people. The government have to invest their money into the SDG 13 so that they can fix the pollution. And if the people in undeveloped country doesn't have the knowledge to invest the money into helping the environment, they could just simply take the trash or something, put it in a bin, and that could help. And the government has knowledge. Why wouldn't the government has knowledge to know that trash can affect the environment and affect the people in the country and cause poverty? And when the government joined SDG 13, they could increase many benefits like remove poverty or decrease poverty, have more water, have more clean water and crops, and that could help the people then.
All right, that's it. Final, what you say? Yeah, that's it.
As you said, you have mentioned about the sponsor from developed country to the undeveloped country a lot. So I'm gonna say, sponsor cannot save the country forever. Sponsor is just they give some help to the country. It's not what they expect to do. They expect to do a long life, I just say a long goal. So as you say, the governments have the knowledge. Then how can they knowledge persuade people to believe them? They have to find the food to have every day. Then how can they believe something that the government only say? They're not showing their insight, they're not showing their research. Then how can they believe that? That's the first thing. The second thing is that you said that the governments should join SDG 13 to get sponsored and to get benefits. It benefits for the country, yes, but due to that sponsor is not for the people to live for a long time.
Okay, stop. Done. Okay. All right, let's do some debrief here. So basically, you guys did okay. You guys were all over the place, all right? You started bringing up facts that really didn't matter, like delivering trash to Africa. I mean, this is more about like, should the countries pledge to improve their environmental efforts, or should they focus on their economy and making money? So you guys had some good points at the beginning, like, you know, we've got to focus on building up our industries, and then we can make money, and then we can worry about the environment later. You guys should be focusing on, we got to worry about the environment now, because it's killing people, and it's hurting us, and it's also could affect the economy, because they're arguing about money, but you could also have a point that, you know, hey, if we're doing this, countries might not trade with us because we're in pollution, there might be some sanctions on us. I know you guys want to make money now, or it could be killing people, but you guys started jumping all over, okay? So the debate topic is, you know, we do the climate change now, or we make money now and worry about it later, okay? You guys were kind of going all over. So next debate, I want us just to focus on the key points, all right? Next time, because we were kind of going all over the map. It was good back and forth, good offense, good defense. But that was kind of my debrief from it. All right? We just gotta focus more on it, because sometimes if you're throwing out too many facts, because we gotta keep the topic as broad, and if we start focusing on Africa or India, but you know, it could get a little bit confusing. So next time we're just gonna focus on just stick to your main points and don't kind of go off it, and attack the other person's main points, all right? Which we should only have 3 of them. There was like 6 or 7. I was losing focus myself. All right. Good.
Okay, done.
All right. Go take a break or something. Come back. 5 minutes. Go to the bathroom.
So you now negotiate.